Tonight on the Bayou Breakdown, the world reacts to the Super Bowl, top performers from the Tiger Classic, a preview to LSU Baseball's new season, and our picks for the Valentine's Day matchup. All this and more, the Bayou Breakdown starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bayou Breakdown. I'm Cassidy Taylor.
And I'm Juliet Marino. It's the day after the big game, and the Seattle Seahawks are your 2026 Super Bowl champions. Seattle running back Kenneth Walker won Super Bowl MVP, rushing for 135 yards on 27 carries. He also had 2 receptions for 26 yards. It was a slow defensive game until the third quarter, with only field goals by kicker Jason Myers.
To start the fourth, Sam Darnold finds A.J. Barner in the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. The Patriots only got into the red zone one time the entire night. The offense struggled with Drake May having 3 turnovers. He faced problems with the Seattle defense in his face for the majority of the game.
The New England offensive line struggled to contain the Seattle pass rush, giving up 6 sacks on the night. In the end, Seattle got the revenge for Super Bowl 49.
To be honest, I thought the game was pretty boring. How about you, Juliet?
Look, it was pretty boring, but I have to say that halftime performance by Bad Bunny, I could not miss that. It was a 10 out of 10.
For sure. It was a little controversial, but I think it was a really good one. Sports reporter Kai Hamilton has all the best socials reactions. Kai?
Thanks, Juliet. Yesterday was the 60th Super Bowl, and of course, like all things, the internet had thoughts. Nike kicked off things with a commercial saying, "Sweet, sweet victory," featuring Marshawn Lynch, who said, "'Cause nothing tastes as good as getting your lick back." Which, if you know about the loss in 2015 when the Patriots beat the Seahawks, he's been rehearsing that line for a while. The Seahawks defense was out there looking like they signed a contract with the WWE. Fightful Wrestling tweeted, "The Seattle Seahawks defense, anytime the Patriots tried to make a move. I'm sure Drake May feels like he was slammed through a table." Meanwhile, the Patriots offense had a very different experience. Shout out to LSU's Will Campbell, who once said, "You give up 1 sack, you're going to work at Amazon." Well, according to Underdog, today was his first day. Top Tier even posted footage of him from the game. Will Campbell, it's the Super Bowl. We need you. And finally, for those of you who didn't root for either side, I'm sure when you asked who you're rooting for, all you could do was smile. But whether you were celebrating or just watching the commercials, the internet will always win the Super Bowl.
Now that the Super Bowl is over, we only have to wait 6 months for the next snap, but it's way too early. But Cassidy, who do you have for Super Bowl 61?
For my AFC team, I'm going to have to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think if Patrick Mahomes can get back in perfect health, he can lead his team back to another Super Bowl.
And what about NFC?
NFC, unpopular opinion, I'm going to have to go with the Rams.
Even
How about
after the
you?
Nolan O call, I
know.
can't cheer for the Rams.
I
For
know.
the NFC, I'm going to have to go with the Saints. You got Tyler Shuck coming back after his historic rookie year. Saints for the NFC, but the AFC, I might have to go with the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow, but LSU Gymnastics will face its 4th SEC opponent Friday night against number 17 Auburn in the PMAC. Head coach Jay Clark expects his team to elevate their performances after last week's unimpressive win against Penn State.
So trying to get all 4 events on the same page is really where our focus is right now. It's not about trying to keep a winning streak going or it's about growth. It's about preparing and getting where we need to be. I think the next step for us is, as I said earlier, is just, can we put a clean meet together? Can we put a 4-event clean meet together?
The Tigers look to continue their win streak heading into Friday night's meet. Now let's head to Tiger Park, where LSU softball kicked off the new year this past weekend.
One Tiger stepping up into a bigger role for the new season. Reporter Bridget Clark is in the studio to tell us more.
Tori Edwards has always been a force on the field, whether it's behind the bat or at first base. Now she's bringing that same intensity into a new role as she steps up into a leadership position this season.
For Tori Edwards, hitting it out the park is nothing new. She finished last season with 18 home runs, 71 RBIs, and 403 batting average, making her one of the most consistent and reliable hitters for the Tigers lineup. But her dominance doesn't just stop at the plate. As LSU's first baseman, Edwards puts up 319 putouts and a .988 fielding percentage, with 8 assists and 4 errors. All of that hard work has earned Edwards a new role as one of LSU's softball captains.
It was a role that I needed to take on, and there's a lot that comes with being a leader. It definitely can be hard at times, and a lot of people look up to you, so just kind of mentally preparing for that.
After having such a strong performance her sophomore year, consistency and playing hard are Edwards and the team's main goal as they aim to make it to the College World Series.
I just want to stay consistent. I don't want to feel or have any doubts or just feel like I let anyone down in any spots. I've kind of just accepted that even if I'm not performing at my best, I can still be there for my teammates and help everyone around me. So I'm just going to continue to try to do that, stay consistent, and then again, for the team, just wanting us to play hard every single day.
Besides earning her teammates' trust, head coach Beth Dorina says what separates her from other SEC players is her combination of skills and intelligence, which are qualities to being a great captain.
When the ball comes off her bat, you should back up because I mean, just her exit velocities are incredible. She's also intelligent, really, really intelligent, not just a student of the game, but just smart in life. So I think all those factors, she's an incredible athlete.
Whether it's delivering on the field or stepping up with leadership, Edwards is setting the standard for LSU softball.
Looking to keep their win streak going, LSU softball will head on the road Thursday to take on Nebraska. You can watch on ESPN where you'll see Tori Edwards in action. Back to you guys at the desk.
Next at 5, a recap of the Tiger Classic. Stay tuned for more.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
love.
You're mine.
Number 16 LSU softball went undefeated in the Tiger Classic this weekend, winning their last game against Lamar 8-0. The Tigers were relentless on defense, only allowing 1 hit the entire game.
Tori Edwards led the way for the Tigers, going 1-2 on the day, which included a home run in the first inning. But the offense was more than just Tori. LSU recorded 9 hits as a team, which resulted in 8 runs and 8 RBIs.
Yeah, saw a lot of good things from a lot of different people. Obviously still have a lot to learn, but set the bar really high, I think, for what this group's capable of. I think nice to have another team, another color on the field, so you start at least getting some tape and some film of things you need to do better, some different things that people will exploit and ways we need to keep growing.
The Tigers will begin their first road trip of the season to face the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Let's zoom out and take a look at the best performers for the whole tournament.
Sports reporter Ava Lucky is in the studio with the pitch. Ava?
Thanks, Cassidy. This past week, LSU softball welcomed Illinois, Nevada, Lamar, and NC State to Tiger Park for the annual Tiger Classic tournament. Throughout all the games played, many players were great, but these three shine the brightest. Welcome to Queen of the Hill. Jaden Heavner was one of the Tigers' top defensive performers last year, and it seems that she picked up right where she left off. Heavner had an amazing freshman season, setting the program record for fewest hits allowed. This past week, she showed why she holds that record. Between the 2 games she pitched, Heavner recorded 17 strikeouts and finished the weekend with an earned run average of 1.91, only allowing 9 hits and 3 runs in 11 innings. Her teammate Jalea Lassiter was her counterpart, helping lead the Tigers to victory with her hot bat. Lassiter recorded 6 hits over the tournament, bringing in 9 runs with the help of a double, triple, and home run, finishing with a .375 batting average. She also found herself jogging down the first baseline 5 times, helping her finish the tournament with an impressive on-base percentage of .542. Although LSU was the most successful team this past week, the Tigers weren't the only shining stars. Nevada's Talia Trenton had an impressive performance on both sides of the diamond. The sophomore transfer from Iowa tried her best to secure a victory for her team on the mound, only giving up 6 hits and pitching 5 strikeouts throughout the course of the tournament. In Trenton's 8 at-bats, she had 3 hits, which included a solo shot over the wall, helping her finish the tournament with a .375 batting average and a .750 slugging average. The 2026 Tiger Classic is going to be one to remember, with players from all different parts of the country coming together to knock off dust and play their first games of the season. Trenton, Lassiter, and Heavner are definitely players to keep your eye on this upcoming season, so look out for them on the diamond. Whether it be from the mound or from the batter's box, these 3 are sure to continue standing out. When we come back, we flip to the other diamond and take a look at a preview to LSU Baseball's 2026 season.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
Love.
You're mine.
Welcome back to the Bayou Breakdown. I'm Julie Munoz. Spring has arrived and the reigning national champions are back on the diamond. LSU Baseball is back in action with head coach Jay Johnson looking to chase history with the Tigers. Let's take a deep dive into the 2026 LSU Tigers. The 2026 Tigers are looking as stacked as ever, with Coach Johnson being able to retain 19 returning players, including the reigning 2025 NCAA Freshman of the Year Derek Curiel, outfield stars Jake Brown and Chris Stanfield, an elite pitching staff headlined by sophomore stud Kason Evans, and elite switch-hitting shortstop Stephen Milam.
You know, having 19 returning players from last year is a good benefit. And then, you know, kind of a hallmark or staple of what we do here is is always placing, LSU, the team and the program above individual needs.
While the outfield was secure, the infield took a hit as Coach Johnson set his eyes on the portal to retool and brought in some stars. Former GCU first baseman Zach York will bring an elite left-handed bat. Versatile Kansas State infielder Seth Dardar will bring timely hitting along with his elite speed. And finally, Oregon State and Men's College World Series standout Trent Caraway will bring an elite bat and glove to the hot corner in 2026. All these players have one thing in common: the strive to succeed.
Omaha was awesome. I want to go back, and I want to win it this year. I'd say we're a ton of high-level players, and we have one goal here, and that's to win this thing.
The 2026 LSU Tigers are looking as dangerous as ever. An already experienced cast alongside some elite additions will terrorize any opponent that LSU faces. Will LSU have enough to make it back to Omaha? Find out soon when the Tigers host Milwaukee to kick off the season.
The reigning College World Series champions LSU Tigers will kick off their campaign to run it back this Friday against the Milwaukee Panthers.
The Tigers come into the season as the #1 ranked team by USA Today. And LSU has 5 players named in the 2026 preseason All-SEC. Outfielder Derek Curiel and pitcher Kason Evans look to continue building their LSU legacy as they hope to lead the Tigers back to Omaha. Now, I'm very excited to see our Tigers back in the box. What are you most excited to see, Juliet?
Look, although I'm excited for their star returners, I am really excited for Zach York, a.k.a. the Creole Bambino. He's starting first base, taking over Jared Jones' position from last season. I think he's going to have a breakout year for the Tigers. What about you?
For sure. Him along with the upperclassman Chris Stanfield, who was supposed to leave us and go to the MLB. He returned for the season, so I think we're going back-to-back as well. Coming up after the break, a look ahead to LSU women's basketball's Valentine's Day matchup.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
love.
You're mine.
This Valentine's Day, LSU women's basketball is set up for a date with big-time rivals South Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina currently holds the best record in the SEC, sitting at 10-1. The Tigers are 2 games back at 8-3.
South Carolina's Joyce Edwards is the 3rd best scorer in the SEC, averaging 20.3 points a game. The Tigers are coming off of a bounce-back win against Auburn that the LSU defense gave up only 44 points. LSU is the highest scoring offense in the SEC, but not far behind is South Carolina at 2. Tip-off is set for Saturday, February 14th at 7:30 p.m. in the PMAC. A big-time matchup here on Valentine's Day. Who do you got, Juliet?
Look, I think this is the game of the century. But look, I think LSU is going to come back after a Texas loss earlier this week and come out with a big-time win at home. What about you?
For sure. I'm definitely rooting for LSU, but you guys know how Dawn Staley is in her posts. You know, she just got Alicia Turnbine, who is 6'7", transfer. What else are you excited for?
Look, I think Kim Mulkey is going to rock a heck of an outfit tonight, but we'll see how it goes. That's all we have for the edition of the Bayou Breakdown.
To keep up with everything LSU news and sports, follow us on social media at LSU Tiger TV.
And be sure to tune into the Bayou Breakdown every Monday live at 5. Until next time, I'm Juliette Marino.
And I'm Cassidy Taylor. Have a great night.